for very long time, decades, and now he has come to India. Here also he runs his own restaurant, and he has kindly agreed to come here give us his association. We thank you very much, and let us welcome Prabhuji by loudly chanting Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So, as you all are aware, we have started with Navamita Bhakti series. So, we finished Shravanam, and today he is going to enlighten us on the topic Kirtan. Okay, so over to you, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
So, I think Kartal is there. So, Hare Krishna, welcome to all the devotees at Akshar Yoga Center. And we are right now, I'm so happy to hear from Gopinath Prabhu that we are discussing the most important aspect of devotional service from the perspective of the devotees, the practitioners. So, in that, we are going to discuss a topic which is most important in the 9 processes of the devotional service that we are going to discuss week after week. I would recommend that none of the devotees should miss any of the 9 processes and should come in large numbers. You were talking about the heat. So I always say that the Sarjapur ISKCON is the very fantastic ISKCON. You know why? Because there is ACs all around, over 10 of them. In Dubai, when we were there, we used to joke that no AC, no KC. So, because it's so hot in Dubai, whether it is hot or cold, in one sense, hot is more sattvic than cold. Because during summer, what happens is in Dubai at least, we used to have a break in between for 2 hours. So morning we would have our shower and go, afternoon shower, evening come back and have shower. And what could be more pleasurable than a cold water bath in the summer? So and it's also sattvic, everybody ends up having 3 to 4 showers a day. So whether it is heat or cold, we cannot stop our Krishna consciousness because that is the dharma. If we have got a human birth, correct? That's our prime responsibility to elevate ourselves spiritually so that we are ready to a stage of perfection where we can go back home, back to God. Yeah. So the idea is that we should give up this material body and attain a spiritual body so that we can serve Krishna eternally. And that would be a fun thing, really speaking. Yeah, there will be no health problems once we go to Golokdam. They'll say, Gopinath Prabhu, what are you doing today here? You are supposed to be giving Srimad Bhagavatam class in Golokdam. Say, oh Prabhu, I missed the date. No problem. Pushpak Viman is waiting, and then in the next Pushpak Viman, he will fly from Ayodhya to Golokdam and give Bhagavatam class, and he will come back by the return flight. Yeah. So we will have such responsibilities in the spiritual world. So it's really fun, and there is no problem of failing health and things like that, because we all have spiritual bodies, and we are not having the problems that material bodies. Now I'm sitting like this, and halfway through, my legs will slowly start slipping down because I have not been practicing yoga. So, like this, we all have problems, and we have to recognize that these are problems in the material world so that we can attain the real goal of human life, which is Krishna consciousness or Krishna prema. And in that Krishna prema, the most important of all the nine practices is kirtan. So it's my privilege that I've been invited by all of you to speak on kirtan today. Okay? So let's just sing Jai Radha for a while and try and discuss the most important topic of kirtan today. Okay? Right. Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Giri Varadari Jaya Giri Varadari Jaya Gopi Jana Jaya Giri Varadari Jaya Giri Varadari Jaya Gopi Jana Jaya Giri Varadari Jaya Giri Varadari Jaya Gopi Jana Jaya Giri Varadari Jaya Giri Varadari Jaya Yashoda Jaya Vrajana Jaya Yashoda Jaya Vrajana Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Yamuna Chari Jaya Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama
Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Shyama Sundar Radha Shyama Sundar Radhe Jaya Radha Shyama Sundar Radha Shyama Sundar Radhe Jaya Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radhe Jaya Radha Madan Mohan Radha Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Nitai Gaura Hari Bo Hari Bo Hari Bo Nitai Gaura Hari Bo Hari Bo Hari Bo Hari Bo Nitai Gaura Hari Bo हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय भागवत पाठ कथा की जय समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to Guru and Sri Gauranga Hari Hari Bol. So this sloka, as I said, is like the most important sloka for practitioners of devotional service. And this sloka, which is being spoken by Srila Prabhupada Maharaj himself, who is like one of the foremost devotees, and used to be Srila Prabhupada's favorite devotee to talk about Prahlad Maharaj all the time. So you can imagine how great a devotee Prahlad Maharaj is. He had challenges of being born in an Asuric family. Fortunately, we have got good, samskar. We were born in very elite families,
where practice of Krishna consciousness will be very easy for all of us. And but he was born in an Asuric family, and the greatest of Asuras was his father. Yeah. So Hiranyakashipu was the greatest of all Asuras. He was the father, so difficult to practice. And then his father was the biggest enemy of Vishnu. And he would discourage him from taking on to Krishna consciousness. But he was having the spiritual instructions of Narada Muni. So somehow, wherever he goes, he matched it with his Smarna. He was always remembering the Lord in any circumstance. So he speaks this sloka. So we read this sloka once and get on to the topic of the day, which is Kirtan. Right? So relieved to see Prabhuji here. Because when the question answer comes, I can now confidently say, ask any question, it will be answered. Yeah. Okay, so this is like seventh canto, fifth chapter, sloka number 23 and 24. All of you are familiar with this sloka. That by the end of these 9 sessions of the processes of devotional service, I request everyone to memorize these two slokas, which are so important for our devotional service. Sri Prahalada Vacha Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Padasevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakyam Atmanivedanam Iti Pumsarpita Vishnu Bhaktischa Navalakshana Kriyeta Bhagavati Atha Tanmanye Adidam Utthamam. Prahlad Maharaj said, can repeat actually. Prahlad Maharaj said, hearing and chanting about the transcendental holy name, form, qualities, paraphernalia, and pastimes of Lord Vishnu, remembering them, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, offering the Lord respectful obeisances with 16 types of paraphernalia, offering prayers to the Lord, becoming His servant, considering Lord one's best friend, and surrendering everything unto Him. In other words, serving Him with body, mind, and words. These 9 processes are accepted as pure devotional service. One who has dedicated his life to the service of Krishna through these 9 methods should be understood to be the most learned person, for he has acquired complete knowledge. We shall not read the purport, it's a very long purport. Please read it and digest every word of Sri Prabhupada has spoken. So, in this verse, in the translation given by Srila Prabhupada, he is talking about how it is important that we serve Sri Krishna with our body, mind, and words. You know, we say that our sannyasis are three dandi sannyasis. What is that three dandi sannyasi? It is kaya, mana, and vakya. So that is body, mind, and words. They use to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we should also become clear on these. Use our body, mind, and words in the service of Sri Krishna. So here the 9 processes of bhakti are being discussed in this verse, which makes us pure practitioners of devotional service. And the most learned person is the person who practices these nine processes of bhakti, and that is considered to be a complete knowledge. So the teachers of Prahlad Maharaj, who was Sanda and Amarka, uh, he tells his father, Hiranyakashipu, that whatever learning I'm getting is completely useless. And the process is are these nine processes of bhakti, which is the core of getting perfection in our spiritual life. As it said in the 11th canto, second chapter, 47th verse of the Srimad Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhaktir Pareshana Bhavo Viraktir Anyatra Cha. So what is that? So Bhaktir to whom? Pareshanu. That is to the Supreme Para Isha, which means the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And if we do that, then Anubhava, that is the direct perception of the absolute truth we get, and that automatically leads to virakti or detachment from all the material desires. Yeah. So these are the instructions of the Srimad Bhagavatam 11th canto, as we said. So, in brief, we will discuss what these nine processes are. Shravanam means the oral reception of all the messages, and the Acharya, who is known for Shravanam, is Parikshit Maharaj, as we all know. Parikshit Maharaj dedicated the last 7 days of his life to listening to Srila Sukadeva Goswami, who is the original author of Srimad Bhagavatam, right? So when we think of Shravana, we think of Maharaj Parikshit. He kind of maxed it in this process of Shravana or listening to the messages of the Srimad Bhagavatam, right? Nobody, none of us can do that. One privilege is that Parikshit Maharaj has the privilege that he is going to live for another 7 days. None of us have that guarantee, right? So he knew that he is going to live for 7 days, and 7 days and 7 nights he simply dedicated to the oral messages of the Srimad Bhagavatam given by Srila Sukadeva Goswami. The next is the Kirtan, which is Sukadeva Goswami is known for Kirtan. We'll discuss how that is, which is memorizing these vibrations and repeating it, right? So we all do that. There is a lead kirtaniya, he sings, and then we all respond to the main kirtan. And then there is Smarana, who could be better than Srila Prahlad Maharaj, and Smarana for remembering what he has heard is the best way to deepen our understanding of Krishna consciousness. Now the same one, we all know is Lakshmi, and that is serving the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And for Arjuna, Maharaj Prithu is known, and so he was, Arjuna was worship of the Lord. Maharaj Prithu is known for his worship. And then Vandanam is offering prayers to the Lord, and Kapura is known for the Vandanam of the offering obeisances and prayers to the Supreme Personality of God. And Nasyam, Hanuman. Oh, we went to a wonderful temple yesterday of Hanumanji, and which is installed by one of the disciples of Prahlad Maharaj about 800 or 1000 years back. Such a wonderful temple. I haven't seen a Hanuman as beautiful as that. And the color of the kumkum as they put on the forehead, oh my God, it's so pleasing to the forehead. I removed the whole day yesterday. Ended up dirtying the pillow because the pillow became all mixed up with the color of the forehead. So it was so beautiful to go to that temple, and the devotion practiced by the Pandits there are all very, very nice. So there are beautiful deities of Ram, Lakshman, and Sita, and then Hanuman is facing Ram, Lakshman, and Sita, and it's just what it's a Mysore road. Yeah. So it's a beautiful temple, and wonderful worship is being offered. And well, it is something like Hawa Hanuman Mandir. What's that? Sorry? And Gali Hanuman Temple, yeah. I translated Gali in Hindi. Gali means air, Hawa. So, yeah, it's a beautiful temple. All of you must visit there and sit there and chant Hare Krishna for a while. Hanuman will be very happy, and if Hanuman happy is happy, then he gives a ticket back home, back to God. So Dasya, when we think of it is Hanuman. And there is Satyam. Yeah. There were so many big devotees in the battlefield of Mahabharata, but still Krishna chose Arjuna to gain this knowledge. Why? Because Arjuna had a relationship of friendship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which is Satya. So, therefore, he got the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita directly from Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, when we think of Satyam, it is Arjuna. Satyam means what? Friend. Friend is a person you can confide all confidential information, right? So, all the confidential truths of the Bhagavad Gita was given directly to Arjuna. And then we have Atma Nivedanam, which is complete surrender, and Bali Maharaj is known for that. Okay. So these are the 9 processes which can give us spiritual wisdom and spiritual perfection. And any of the karmatic pious activities, no doubt they are on the level of piety, but they cannot give us spiritual perfection. The bhakti itself is defined as in the Anya Vilasata Sunyam Jnana Karma Dhyanarvatam Anukuliyana Krishna Vashivanam Bhaktir Uttama. No kind of activity with a desire for material profit, there is no fruitive activity, no philosophical speculation can ever give us bhakti, right? It's only these 9 processes that can give us bhakti. And then devotional service completely relieves us of the bodily conception of life. Who could be a better example than Prahlad Maharaj himself? He was being tortured by his father, but he was never in fear. One of the important ingredients of having, having a material body is fear. All of us are having fear of something, right? Or no? Yes, we are always fearful about our future. We are fearful about our security, whether the war launched by Trump is going to affect us in any way, what happens to gas cylinders, what happens to so many other things. Will petrol run out of the petrol station? There is a constant fear in all of us, which is part and parcel of the material life. It's nothing, um, it's not nothing to be surprised about. So, whereas in the case of Prahlad Maharaj, he was not in any fear, addressing the greatest of all asuras, who was his father, telling him Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Padasevanam. He is glorifying the greatness of worship to Vishnu, to his father who was the greatest asura and the enemy of Vishnu. So that means he had absolutely no fear of any kind. Given example of Srila Prabhupada, right? When he was in his last days, the doctors diagnosed him as untreated diabetes, and it said that it's a very, very painful condition for Srila Prabhupada. Yeah? But Prabhupada had transcended that I'm not this body and spirit soul. The pain was there on the material body, but it's not pain. So Prabhupada, what was Prabhupada doing? Prabhupada was translating Srimad Bhagavatam in the scriptures and giving final instructions to his disciples to carry this wonderful movement of Krishna consciousness forward. So these nine processes are just a chronological understanding of bhakti. Yeah, if you do shravanam, you can do kirtanam. If you do kirtanam, you can do smaranam. That way, it's just a chronological understanding of bhakti itself. And what does kirtanam mean? Kirtanam means chanting loudly. Yeah, that is one of the meanings of kirtanam. And who are the examples that we can think of kirtanam? Narada Muni, without any shame, he would just sing and chant wherever he goes. And Srila Prabhupada gave him a tribute by calling him a transcendental spaceman, right? So, and that has to be a perfect mood for chanting also, which is Trinada Visunicena, Parvati, Sahisuna, Amayana Pranadeva, Medena, Kirtaniya Sada Hari, which is you have to be humble, more than a blade of grass, more tolerant than a tree, offer respect to everyone, and never expect any prestige or honor from anyone. That is the mood of chanting. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. So we don't need a background of aristocracy, or we don't need great education. We don't need to do any yajna, prabha, dhanya, or any kind of kriyas. It's a very, very simple method, and that's why the scriptures say Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Eva Kevalam, Kalo, Nasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva. That is Anyata. So in Kali Yuga, especially, it's relevant to all the yugas, but especially in Kali Yuga, the most powerful method or the principal method of advancing in spiritual life is chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So we are discussing the bhakti path of Kirtan, right? Chant and life will be sublime, Srila Prabhupada says. So most of us, at least myself, when we come to Krishna consciousness, we don't have much knowledge of the spirituality, or we don't have any knowledge of Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam, at least in my case. So, what attracted me to come to Krishna consciousness was two things. One is I like the Kirtan, yeah, in there I like the Prasadam, and I like the treatment that was given by the devotees who were so welcoming. Yeah, so that was the motivation of first coming. Later on, we start reading Srila Prabhupada's books, and then we get attracted to the message of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita and the Srimad Bhagavatam. So chanting is the one which attracted most of us to come to this process of bhakti, right? And well, as South Indians, we have a problem. Chanting is okay, we will chant, but people say, Prabhuji, I thoda dance karo. And then, as South Indians, we have a problem with that. North Indians get into dancing so easily. And many people are happy, I'm chanting. So we had a hesitation to even dance with the devotees. But chanting, we didn't have a problem, right? So subsequently, of course, now we enjoy this process of chanting, singing, and dancing as well. So why is that? Because everything is present in the holy name. All knowledge and all austerity, everything is contained in the holy name of Krishna, and that is the effect of the Mahamantra which comes. Right? We see on Facebook so many posts of devotees on street kirtan, right? Everybody seems to get attracted to that. And any passerby, anything, they just get attracted to chanting. And that's the conclusion of the Srimad Bhagavatam itself, the 12th canto towards the end. 12:351, it says, Kalaya Loshani Devajan as forms. Do we have to say this or to stress this? Everybody knows that, right? That's why Srila Prabhupada always sang this Jayarabha Madhava before starting any class, right? Because we are all coming from external consciousness, which is full of Maya, full of dualities of material existence.